Hello everybody, and welcome back to Certified Collectibles. Today we have another unboxing video of some freshly graded comic books back from CGC. Now these are all Bronze Age titles, and they're all number ones. These are all the premiere issues for these individual titles. Now if you guys have been following the comic book market lately, you know that Bronze Age, Copper Age, Steel Age, Modern Age, Ultra-Modern books, they're just on fire, especially Bronze and Copper. These are books that a lot of people bought, over the past 5 to 10 years, that for not much money. These didn't really have a whole lot of value 5 to 10 years ago, a lot of these titles. And in high grade now, 9.6, 9.8, these things are approaching $1,000. So even books that people didn't necessarily care that much about a few years ago, these books are taking off. They might be in your collection that you set aside that you didn't really think they were going to have much value later on. It might be worth revisiting your collection and taking a look, see what you have. Now, these books here, we actually bought about 5 years ago from a Soul Collector. He had a huge collection. I think we probably paid $5 a book because they're all really nice grade or near mint books. So I think we put these on the shelf, for the last 5 years. They didn't really have a whole lot of value. But like I said, now in high grade, these books are taking off. So we wanted to send them in before, they got damaged, because we are famous for dropping a lot of these books, as we're trying to sort through them and grade them. So we wanted to make sure we got them graded before we caused any damage to these books. So we got these back just yesterday. Let's go ahead and take a look at the titles we got and the grades we got back. We're really excited to cut into this and see what we have. Like I said, the Bronze Age books nowadays are just taking off. So these are all Bronze Age number ones. Okay. Get some of the stuffing out of here. Okay, let's take a look at what we have. Our first book. The New Avengers of Superboy number 1. Now this is a 9.2. A nice grade for this book. This came out in 1980, so this is nearing the end of the Bronze Age. But this here, hard to find these in high grade. A 9.2 is a good grade for this particular book. Like I said, this book here, even in 9.2, probably still a few $100s should get you a nice copy of this book. This one here is not tremendously important in the Bronze Age, but still, it's a number 1. It is the first issue of the Adventures of Superboy. So, 9.2, we're happy with that grade for this particular issue. Happy 16th birthday. Okay, now this one here, this is Tales of the Green Lantern Corps number 1. This is a 9.6. Now this is a great grade. This is a great book. This here may be a key. There is a new Green Lantern show on HBO Max coming soon. People believe some of the characters may be based off the Green Lantern Corps. So the Green Lantern Corps number 1, this may become a key for the Bronze Age. So it all depends on how well the Green Lantern HBO Max show does. This is going to push this brand forward, push some of the characters and or some of the Green Lanterns that people aren't as familiar with as Hal Jordan, and this might be one you want to keep or hang on to. You might want to check your collection. You may have this one. Like I said, a few years ago, it wasn't worth all that much, but these are taking off now. This here is the first appearance of Arisia. So this actually is also a first appearance comic. Definitely worth keeping your eye on. If you see this one, we got a 9.6 on this, so we're happy with that grade. We got some good grades so far, so let's keep it going. Okay, DC Comics presents number 1. Now, this is an important book. This came out in 1978. This is an important book just because it is the first issue of the DC Presents title. This starts all the Superman team-ups and a lot of the other character team-ups. So this one here is an important book for the Bronze Age. Like I said, right now you can still pick this book up probably for under $500. This is a 9.4 or 9.8. Of course, it'll be a little higher, $500 to $600, $700 should get you a nice 9.8. And 9.4, this should cost you under $500. But this is the first DC Comics Presents, so this is one you may want to look into. Now this one here, it just states that this is when the Superman team-ups began. But DC Comics Presents number 1, an important issue for DC Comics. Oh, the bag came off this one. All right, Beowulf number 1. This is 1975. This is a 9.4. This one here, all depends what they do with this particular franchise. I don't know if anyone really doing too much with Beowulf right now, so I don't know how important this one is, but we did want to send it in to get it graded because it was part of this particular collection, and it was high grade. So a 9.4 is a good grade for this particular issue. This was from 1975, so right, in the middle of the Bronze Age. Nice vibrant colors on this, and a lot of these are the 25-cent titles. Vibrant colors on this book from the 70s. So it's a great grade, and it's a really nice copy. So we're happy with that grade. Okay. Here we have Batman and the Outsiders #1. Now I think this is the second appearance of the Outsiders, so it's not the first appearance of them, but still important book. This is from '83. This is actually very, very end of the Bronze Age, depending upon what timeline you're using. Some people say it ends in 84, some people say it ends in 80. So depending upon what timeline you're using, this is the very end of the Bronze Age. This is a 9.6, so you can't really get much better than this. 9.8 is the highest you can go. So 9.6, very happy with this here. This is the second appearance of the Outsiders, like I mentioned before. So we're happy with this grade, 9.6, Batman and the Outsiders #1. Okay, Shade the Changing Man #1. Now this is from 1977. This is a 9.6 as well. This is one of the nicest copies you're going to see. I don't really know if there's any 9/8. If there are, there's not that many. This was not a really heavily purchased or collected book over the years, so there's not going to be a lot of these out there in high grade. Now this is the first appearance of Shade the Changing Man. So this is an important first appearance book. An important book for the Bronze Age. Like I said, a lot of the Bronze Age first appearances are taking off right now, so it might be worth considering this one here if you are looking to build your Bronze Age collection. And these might be books, like I mentioned before, that you guys already have in your collection. You may want to send these in to CGC for grading. It's not hard to damage comic books, so if the earlier you send them in for grading, it helps protect them, going forward. So that's why we try to send them in as soon as we can. But this is the first appearance of Shade the Changing Man, 1977. Very nice grade, 9.6. These are some vibrant covers for the 70s. A lot of people don't remember this. That was 50 years ago. Doesn't seem like 50 years ago, but it was. The Secret Society of Supervillains #1. This is, I believe, the origin of the supervillains. This is 1976, and it is a 9.4. Make sure I'm right here. Yeah, the origin of the Secret Society of Supervillains. Now, this book here has been picking up a lot of steam lately, and it's definitely a lot more valuable today than it was just 2 or 3 years ago. So this is one, if you have in your collection, you might want to think about grading this one or definitely keeping it nice. People are looking for this particular book now. We have seen a lot of interest in this particular title. So a 9.4 is a great grade for this. We're happy with that grade. The Secret Society of Supervillains. It looks like all these are DC titles. I didn't notice that before, but I think this was a whole DC group that we sent in. So all these are going to be DC titles. Oh, now this one's great. Super Friends #1. And then this was actually based off the TV show, the cartoon, back in the 70s. This is from 76. So if you were around in the 70s as a child, you probably remember the Super Friends. Yeah, I remember watching this as a child. And I wasn't around in the 70s watching cartoons, but I do remember this cartoon in reruns as a child, so it's kind of cool to see this in comic book form. Now, I think there are some first appearances in this. I'm going to have to read them off because I don't remember them. This is the first appearance of Wendy, Marvin, and Wonder Dog, Poison Ivy, and Penguin. Oh no, Poison Ivy, Penguin, Toyman, and Cheetah appearance. So there are a couple first appearances in this particular issue. This is based off of the cartoon series. A lot of these comic books, a lot of these cartoon comics that were based off cartoon series from the 70s and 80s are taking off. And I know this book here is already approaching $1,000 in 9.8. So this is 9.6. You can expect to pay up for this particular grade. We're happy with this grade. Would like to see a 9.8 on this, but I mean, you're talking about a book from 50 years ago, once again, that super clean. The backs of these, I'm not showing you guys because they're white. All these say white pages on them. Backs are super white. Colors are super vibrant on these. This is a nice grade, nice book. Glad we have this one. I forgot we sent this one in, so that's good to see. A 9.6. I think we only have 3 or 4 left here, so we're going through these pretty quick. Star Squadron #1. Another DC title, of course, 1981. So nearing the end of the Bronze Age. Oh, a 9.8. Look at the back on this one. Look how white that is. Now this is a nice book. Now this one here is going to cost you definitely $500 plus. This here I think is the origin of the All-Star Squadron. So this is a nice book, a nice copy, a 9.8. You know, anything from the Bronze Age, a 9.8, and a lot of the titles are 9.6 as well. You know, those are the books you want to add to your collection and hold in your collection if you already have them. Those are some great grades from that particular era. You know, a lot of those books from the 70s and 80s, they were heavily collected, but a lot of people didn't keep them because they didn't have a whole lot of value over the years, like I keep mentioning. But now they're blowing up, probably for that reason. It's because a lot of people didn't keep them, a lot of people threw them away, sold them, you know, over the years, gave them to their kids to play with, gave them to their kids to read. So now to get nice, clean, near mint copies of this book, any of these titles, is getting tougher and tougher, so the prices are shooting upwards. So if you have a nice Bronze Age collection, keep it, hang on to it. You know, a lot of the Bronze Age titles are moving up. So this is All-Star Squadron number 1 and a 9.8, our best grade so far. Okay, 3 books left. Here we have Man-Bat number 1 from 1976. Well, 1975-76 came out in between December and January there. This is an 8.5. I think that's our lowest grade so far. I think that is our lowest grade. This just has a Batman appearance. You know, you don't hear too much about Man-Bat. He's been kind of rebranded and republished over the years, and relaunched, but Man-Bat hasn't really taken off. I don't really know the great importance of this particular issue, but like I said, we wanted to send all these in to get graded. We thought we'd probably get a better grade out of this one, that's why we sent it in. An 8.5 is not necessarily that great a grade for a Bronze Age book. You definitely want to stay above 9 if you can. You know, 9.4, 9.6, 9.8 on the Bronze Age books. 8.5, not exactly sure why. Could have been an interior issue because I don't see anything wrong with the... Oh, there's a pretty hard ding in the corner there. I didn't notice that. That's too bad. All right, well, not 8.5. You don't win all the time, you know. Okay. Another TV series-based comic. This was from 1976. This is ISIS number 1. I think this was a CBS series. Yeah, this is based on the CBS TV series. This is a 9.2. Once again, another great grade for this particular issue. There's not a lot of these out there in high grade. There are a lot of them out there in poor grade, but people didn't really keep these nice. You know, like I mentioned, these were really read by children, you know, like the Super Friends. If you watched the cartoon, then you read the comic. You know, you didn't keep it nice for 50 years to grade it, you know, later in near mint grade and think it's going to have any value. So 9.2 for ISIS number 1. This one here is a good book to add. It's a pretty good title for the Bronze Age. I think there's rumors often about some of these titles. They pop up. You know, some of them are periodically talked about for television or movie series. They don't ever really turn out. I think ISIS is one of them. I believe I heard a rumor about them bringing this back, but this might have been a few years ago. I don't really think there's any new news now, but ISIS number 1, maybe one to hang on to. Oh, and our last book for this particular submission is Karate Kid number 1. This is a 9.0 from 1976. That's a nice red cover. Like I said, a lot of these bold covers, they don't keep very nice. So to see a nice bright purple or blue or red cover like this 50 years later, these are great grades to have. 9.0 or above, you know, these are definitely nice keepers for your collection. So this is the last book for our submission today. Really pleased with a lot of these grades. I mean, we got some great grades out of this. I think 8.5 was the lowest and 9.8 was the highest. So there you have our Bronze Age number 1 unboxing of all our CGC books that we just got back in yesterday. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked the video. Drop us some comments in the comment section below. Let us know if you guys have any of these. If you're collecting the Bronze Age books, we'd love to hear about it. As always, please remember to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you for joining us here at Certified Collectibles, and we'll see you again next time.